wanted to give you a run over of Go High Level, and then I have my note taker in here too, so I can send you the call recording.
Okay.
So pretty much anything you need to know about High Level, I should be able to run over for you. There's also it's nice because it's honestly probably one of the CRMs that has the most YouTube videos on it and about it, honestly, on YouTube, and their support is super good. So like if I can't tell you something, you can absolutely find it, or someone will be able to tell you how to do it. And overall, it's just a great CRM. I will say that it's not real estate specific. I've seen some cool CRMs out there like Brivity. Obviously, like Follow Up Boss is a huge one. I know Follow Up Boss is kind of all its name is. Like I think it just like
Hmm.
helps with it specializes in follow up. I don't think like they're Go High Level by far has the best like automation capability from any CRM that I've been in. I know Lofty's maybe a similar one, but it's not real estate specific. So a lot of these CRMs where I've seen where you can like have your listings in there and like all this like crazy stuff. High Level's not going to be able to do that, but it's an all around amazing CRM in the sense that it's like it's basically a jack of all trades but a master of none.
Yeah.
It can do absolutely anything that you could possibly want: a website builder, forms, surveys, landing pages, follow up automations, AI, purchase phone numbers, text, email out of it, record phone calls. Like it can do everything. But if I wanted to send emails to the best of my capability, I wouldn't use High Level. I would use like a software like Instantly, or if I wanted to do anything to the best of its ability that I would pick High Level for, it would probably just be the automation stuff, as
Hmm.
what it specializes in. But if I wanted to build a website to the best of my ability, I wouldn't do it on High Level. I'd do it on another software. So that's really the best way I can explain it. Is it does have absolutely everything that you could need for a CRM. It's just
Hmm.
not going to specialize in anything specifically. If it does specialize in anything, I would say it is the automation stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because that's kind of like it sounds. What we used at Sweetwater was this system called 4D, and I think that they still use it. And it's just like that, like where it just seems like it has everything. And they had three people that they were paying probably like combined $500,000 a year, just to manage 4D. And that was back in the early 2000s. I have no idea what it'd be like now, but it was just you have all these different things that it could do, and they probably only used 20% of what it was actually capable of, but it just was all in this one nice package that was crazy easy to use. And that's like, but the rest of it was just kind of superfluous stuff. So that's what this Go High Level kind of sounds like it would be similar to, where it's got like all of these things, but you likely won't need to use all of it at once.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it has a ton of stuff, but like I don't even use, even in our own agency, and even other clients that we see using it, no one I think even uses like a good 80% of it.
Yeah.
The most common here. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah.
Cool. So we have the 497 plan. So what is super cool is when you go to dashboard, you are able to make your own custom dashboard, which is pretty cool. So basically you can put any type of analytics in here. So like if we go to, is it's going to count up all the contacts created within a specific time frame. So if we go to this year, for example, it's going to pull that. There's a bunch of cool different like widgets that you can add to this dashboard, whether it be appointment data, opportunity data, website visitor data, how many outbound emails have I sent this month, how many calls have I made, or how many calls have been inbound received, how many conversations have started, how many payments have I taken, and a whole bunch of cool stuff, which is pretty cool. So like to give you an example of what our dashboard is looking like for like I'd say Billy, for example, it looks like this now, basically. I don't know if we have this implemented with you, but we're basically letting them know, totally generated straight on their dashboard, live transfers initiated, obviously in a specific time frame. And then what they can do is like just click into this live transfer number and it'll pop up all their live transfer leads here with the link to the conversation. So like, let's say, we want to see Thomas, just click his name. It's going to take us straight into the actual conversation with Thomas. here. So that's kind of like dashboard's a pretty cool feature where you can add a whole bunch of cool stuff to that. Like anything you could really want, you can fully customize your dashboard to see like what specific data you want. Personally, we also add the task for our partners because this honestly should just be something that our partners are able to come in and check like once a day and be like, okay, I'm caught up, where they can see the total amount of leads that have been generated, live transfers initiated. Like if I was one of our partners, I'd just come into the last 7 days on like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday or something, and just check, okay, leads generated, does it look at least solid? Live transfers, am I happy with it? Do I need to follow up with these 2 live transfers? Okay. And then do I have any tasks? So I'd go to like here and go to all, and I'd be like, do I have any due tasks that I need to get done? What we're shooting for a lot of our partners to do now is like set like callback tasks with these leads every 2 or every 3 days, and then just come into the task system. And if you have a due task, just check mark it, knock it out, and get it. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, Go High Level has the conversations tab, so you can see all the conversations happening with all of your leads, whether it be an automated text or a manual text. So there's actually this like filters button here, which is pretty cool, where you can go like, let's say, if I want to check every single message, I haven't responded to, you can go to unread and then just go to my chat, and it's gonna pop up the ones the contacts that are assigned to you. There's none in here because I'm not an IS. But if let's say, for example, our ISA Joy had 20 leads assigned to her that she hadn't gotten back to yet for some reason, they would all pop up here you can also do sort by inbound. So the last message was towards you, not you towards them. And you can do like SMS. So this is only going to pop up people that have sent a inbound message here. So I'm on my way. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Just kind of spam text. And so this is going to pop up people that have basically sent inbound text, and then same way you can do outbound as well. And you can select if your last outbound text is manual or automated, which is because it's very easy, obviously, to just send automated. But if we go to like manual outbound SMS, let's see what pops up. Okay, so just some kind of but yeah, so like the conversations, you can see every single conversation happening with like all the leads at any given time, which is super, super cool. Personally, this tab is a little bit like messy in my opinion. I like to just go to the contact and filter through here. And then once you find a contact that you're looking for, you can go into the conversation. So if I'm like, oh, Herbert here, if I just click into Herbert, it's just going to take me to him in the entire conversation anyway. So you don't need to be in the conversations tab to actually look. Like the conversation will actually also be attached to the contact when you open it up. One of the coolest things, in my opinion, as well, is at the top right here, you have your notes and tasking section, as well as like your appointment. So if you wanted to just put this person for an appointment right now, you just click this calendar button, click add, and then you'll be able to select from all the calendars that you have. So you can have like a phone call calendar, an actual consultation calendar, an in-person calendar, and those will all send different confirmation and reminder text. Because if you're meeting with someone via like Google Meet or Zoom, you're going to want to send them like the meeting link. If you're meeting with them in person, you might want to remind them that you're at the address or something of wherever you guys are meeting. So those are going to be different automations. If it's going to be a phone call, you're just going to say calling you in 5. Those are all going to be different confirmation and automations. So you can come up here, you can have a phone call calendar, consultation calendar, if it's a buyer consultation or seller consultation, and then also in-person buyer, in-person seller consultation. And you can have all of those as vendors. And when you book people in, they can trigger different automations, which is cool, which I can show you in a sec. But that's like there's the notes section, so you can take any notes that you need to take on any lead. So boom, in here they have, or they're looking for XYZ, you can add that note there. And which in my opinion helps our team stay on top of the ball a lot, is you can just add a task on this lead, call at 3 p.m. tomorrow and every 2 days after that. Basically until something happens, they either tell you to F off or like you get on the phone with them. And so what we can do is due date select for tomorrow at 2 p.m. save, reoccur every 2 days. Assignee, we want to assign it to ourselves, of course, so we get notified about it, and then save. If I were to save that, that's when it would pop up on the dashboard under task. but then a new task will get created under this contact edit. You can actually set your notification settings. So if I go to do you have any questions kind of off the top of your head so far?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So I'm just like
Yeah,
going through my head, just like as far as my uh, goals, my own goals and everything. It's like I'm not one that's like wants to do as far as like growth goes, like end up having like a 10-person team and all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to figure out like, is this going to be more than what I need, sort of thing, or is there a way to like slim down its offerings to be just like a core of things that? So I think it'll be good for me to go through over the next week, and Megan's going to be out of town too, so I'll have a lot of time to be to be able to dedicate to
nice.
kind of looking through it. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be locked in. Yeah, what we can do because it is a sub account under our company, we basically have admin access over you. So like if there is stuff that you're like, hey, can you just like completely take this off my screen, please? Like I don't need full access to the CRM because I'm never gonna use that and it's just overwhelming. We can like get rid of like some of the stuff over here on this sidebar. It's super,
Hmm.
super simple. Like if I don't know why it's not loading. I've been having to use my hotspot lately, and I'm pretty sure I upgraded to like the maximum plan.
Because yeah, I love like the dashboard part of it is, and where I use Wise Agent. That's like what I love is having this big dashboard that has like my commission reports, my sales lists. So that when I need to go into one that's active right now, I can just click that button, it goes right into it, and my calendar and stuff like that. Like, and then recent leads and opportunities, task list, that kind of stuff. So it looks like that and able to be
Yeah,
put to go high level pretty easily. So yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of just for me, like having stuff that's like simple and easily laid out is, and it looks like Go High Level does that kind of stuff pretty well.
yep, yeah. And two here is like where we would be able to manage like your access. So like we can give you like access to your account settings, account tools, automations, blogs, calendars, certificates, communities, contacts, conversations, and pretty much the ones that we have checked here are usually the only ones that our partners need. Like obviously access to your own settings. Automation will be a huge one. So much power in those calendars, of course, contacts, conversations, forms and funnels if you want to build any websites like landing pages and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
integrations to connect stuff like your Google Calendar, your Facebook and Instagram account, opportunities to update statuses of each lead, and then your dashboard. Those are usually pretty much the only thing that our partner is really going to need. We can tick off all that other access, and then basically what will happen is it won't appear on this left-hand side of your screen to make it easy for you. So contacts is pretty self-explanatory. This is going to be where all of your contacts are that ever come in here. So every single person, name, phone, email. And then if you actually click into the contact, on the left-hand side is when you can have like custom fields. So any information on this contact, city, buyer, sellers, state, like any custom field, you can create any custom field, anything that you want. You're allowed to just manually type it in. And so if you need to know any detail on someone like whatsoever, you can create your own custom field over here on the left-hand side. And you can put it so that they either fill it in manually or you fill it in for them if you know the information. If you don't know the information and they need to fill it in manually when they fill out like a form and become a lead or something, they can also pull in here on this left-hand side. So you can make any sort of question about the lead, which is pretty cool. Also tags, they have a tagging system, so very similar to a lot of other CRMs. You can
Mm-hmm.
create tags, whether it be buyer, seller, and then like maybe construction, downsizing, different categories for that. You can make a tag on absolutely anything. Is it a new lead? Is it a dead lead? Is it in the follow-up stage? You can make any sort of tag that you want. And then these tags can also trigger automations. You can also just manually add leads into automations here. Usually I never do that. It's just more difficult. You can
Mm-hmm.
also manually update the opportunity status of them here as well. And what I mean by an opportunity status of a lead is if you go to opportunities, this is basically where you'll be able to see the stage of each lead and where every single lead is. And it's basically just how you're going to kind of organize your leads based on status. So like, let's say there's a live transfer received here. You can create your own pipeline. So you can make these names at the top, say whatever you want. But it's a simple drag and drop system. So you can really stay on top of things. So if you have like new lead in the versus appointment booked, appointment held, appointment canceled, appointment no showed, docs, and you can literally just simple drag and drop these people, and basically, keep them all organized so you understand what stage of the sales process that they're actually. So that's pretty cool. Payments, if it does come down to ever having to do any documents or contracts on here, I personally haven't used the contracts. We are going to be moving over to it soon. I haven't used the documents or contracts section here on high level yet, but it does have the ability to make contracts and take payment. That's something that you kind of integrations. Get started with payments. Yeah, so also seems pretty self-explanatory when it comes to setting it up. You
Mhm.
try connect your Stripe, PayPal, Square, something along the. But I know a lot of that's already usually taken care of for your. Other than that, there's sites, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's for websites. And then automations, which is personally my favorite, is where you can pretty much build any automation that you would possibly. And so for our partnering agents, we have these different folders for everything. So we have an automation that fires when a live transfer is ended, a new buyer lead in action or a new seller lead in action, because those are obviously going to require different text messages. So for example, if we go into like the new buyer lead in action workflow, it's going to trigger when the Facebook lead form is basically better. We're going to add the buyer tag. We're going to update the click to add details, which is those custom fields I was telling you on the left-hand side of the contact that you can make however many you want information about the lead. It's going to update it to basically be the details that they clicked on the ad. So we can tell our team, hey, this person clicked on a new construction ad or a downsizing ad, or update the live transfer form field. This is basically just updating a lot of stuff about the contact. Then it's going to add it to buyer follow. It's going to create the opportunity in day 1 AM stage. So basically, it's going to create it in day 1 AM stage, which means it needs to be called by the ISA team. When it gets called once, it'll update them to day 1 PM stage, saying that they need to be called. And then it sends them an SMS confirmation here. So auto confirm contact name. We just received a request for and then it's going to be the ad details that they clicked on. Be on the lookout for a call or text from our team. It's going to wait 3 seconds, and then we're having it send an image of the ad that they act. You'll get people that are like, I didn't click on anything, or I don't know what you're talking about. This is basically just eliminated all of that because it's 90% of the time it's a smoke screen. They do know what they clicked on because they had to literally just submitted the form for them to get that text. It's usually like a smoke screen. I didn't click on anything or something, so we just send them the ad. Gets rid of that. The system then adds day 1 AM.
So is this something that would be, because like when I the dash, like the back end here, there's no, it just says sites report.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and check your. I can give you admin access here, give you access to automations, numbers, contacts, conversations. You'll want forms and funnels, integrations. Marketing, marketing will be cool. It can allow you to like schedule posts, all of that stuff, create marketing email campaigns, stuff like that. Opportunities, dashboard, updation surveys, user management. So user management is pretty cool. You can actually like add, like if you ever have like a virtual assistant that you get, you can go ahead and add her into there as well and manage her. Save. Okay, I saved it. It should refresh your screen for you or something, and then update that here in a second. Let me know if it updates for you.
Yeah, it just totally just had logged me out when you did that. Let's see if I can.
Cool, awesome. And then yeah, so really the automations section, it can feel overwhelming because you can automate literally anything within the CRM. You can automate tasks getting created, you can automate text, emails, WhatsApp messages, Facebook Messenger messages, automatically automate like the posting. You can automate like you can wait. You can add a wait step where it'll literally just wait for a allotted amount of time. You can also set it so that it waits for a reply or it waits for a specific action to happen. It waits for a tag to get added. It waits for a reply. It waits for an email response. It waits for an email open. You can set it to do like pretty much anything you need. To kind of run you over like some other automations we have here. Like we have like the follow-up message sequences where this is where all of the kind of follow-up happens. And I want to go to follow-up sequences. You go to buyer follow-up sequence. Now we're going to add a note here to the lead that the lead clicked on an ad to see a list of homes and custom value ad details. Then it's going to wait 1 hour, and basically, if no conversion happened within that hour time and no live transfer happened, we're basically going to shoot them with a text like this. Contact first name is name. Just like you inquired about that list of homes on my Facebook post. Has anyone given you a call about that hyperactivity list yet? And we misspelled given on purpose because then we have the system wait 3 seconds and send given as a correction. So it seems like a real person did it.
Yeah,
Um,
I get those all the time, man.
yeah,
It's great.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's basically super easy way to do that. Just have the system wait a little bit and then just send the text correction. And then you can send emails as well. So we're sending a very similar email, contact first name, last name. So that's the from. The logo from email is going to be your email, and then subject homes list for contact first name. Hey, first name. So you're showing some interest in the local real estate market, so you can build out the emails right in here as well. Super simple email builder. It's going to wait 1 day, send another text and email, and then basically just do this for a while. You can set it to do it for as long as you want. You can set the wait steps in between to be however frequent or however long you want. And you can add as many text messages or emails that you want. You can have it follow up with them for 7 days. You can have it follow up with them for 7 years. It just depends on what you build out. So that's kind of how our follow-up sequence looks. We have alert workflows. So if you ever want to get alerted or you ever want a team member to get alerted about any action that happens within the account, you can do so. So anytime we get a new lead, we alert our ISA team. Anytime there's a live transfer, we alert our internal and ISA team. Anytime there's a missed call, our ISA team is alerted. Anytime there's a missed text message, our ISA team is alerted. Anytime our ISA will call back with a lead and it's coming up, they're reminded about that callback coming up with that lead. And basically how this happens is if we just go into like new lead alert, it's very, very simple. The contact is tagged buyer or seller. So that's basically telling the system, hey, this is a buyer or seller lead. That's the trigger for the automation. Then we want to check, does a first name exist? Because if the first name doesn't exist, it could potentially be a bad. And we don't want to be notifying the team about any bad leads. And then this second one here is the kill switch tag on this lead. So our team will tag a lead kill switch if it's bad. If they're working with an agent, if they're not interested, if they already purchased, we'll just tag it kill switch. And so that basically represents a bad lead. So as long as it does not have the kill switch tag, it's going to go down this yes branch, and then we're going to search, does a phone number exist? So is there a name? Is there no kill switch tag? Does a phone number exist? If yes, it goes down this way. Is the time between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time? If yes, then we add the lead to the speed to lead tracker because we want to track how fast we actually call the new lead. So what this will do is it'll timestamp that lead, and then it'll timestamp the lead on the first call of our ISAs because then we can track speed to lead. Because if a campaign's ever not doing well, we'll be like, oh, we'll pick up rate half. Is that speed to lead's double? Okay, well, that's clearly a problem. You got to kind of track that data when it comes down to running a call center realistically. And so add speed to lead tracker workflow. We email notification to partner about a new lead new lead contact first name. And I'm sure you remember like some notifications like this. And then basically we send a notification to this team on Slack. Basically that something like this here. Can you see the Slack here?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, it's going to send a notification to the team that looks something like this. A new lead alert, call within 5 minutes. Owner status, TS Group Solutions, lead details, quick actions. So this is going to be a direct link to the contact in high level. So if I click this, it's just going to open up that contact directly in high level. So they don't even have to go to that partner's account. They'll just click this link and it'll instantly open that lead on their screen by just clicking that link. So you can see we're in Dad's account here and we have Casey. We can see this lead came in at 9:15 a.m. and then the team called at 9:15 a.m. and then double dialed at 9:16 a.m. So that's a really good way to like just have a really good speed to lead system is by just having a notification fire like this to the team where they can instantly just go to the contact. And then we have our partner live transfer form here. So this is like the form that the team would fill out anytime they got a live transfer. We would have notes based on the criteria. So, minimum price points, maximum time frames, not working with renters, not working with land or anything like that. And then they'd have all these questions to fill out about the lead and then basically agree that the information I'm submitting is valid and submit. So if you ever wanted to have your own ISA that basically just calls all the leads like for you that just aren't really worth your time at this like moment right now. Anything that's realistically 45, 60 days out that just needs to be nurtured, needs to be called frequently, needs to be touched on. This is something very similar that you could set up for them. Any new leads you get in, they could get notified about. and then just make sure that you only get them if they're worth your time. If they talk to them and they are worth your time, it's a lot of form like this where you get notified, very similar to a process that we do, that you can do all of that out of high level. Everything that we do for that entire system is completely set up out of high level. And that's basically sends a notification to the team. So that's like alert workflows that we have. That's in that alert folder. Number 4 is a power dialer system. So we use a power dialer. High level also has a power dialer, which is actually pretty cool. I forgot to run you over. So in the conversations tab, there's this manual actions at the top here. And Go High Level's power dialer is so confusing. I don't even know how to going to be able to explain this. But basically, you understand how basic dialer works, right? There's leads in a dialer, and then when you start the dialer, it just starts running through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, to use the high level dialer, you have to select a certain workflow to dial through. Now you're like, okay, well, like, how do you get a lead to stay in a workflow? And then if I call them once, what if I want them to go into like a dial 2 dialer so that I know I need to use that dialer after I have done my dial 1 dialer or whatnot? Well, if we go to create a workflow here from scratch real quick, there is an action in high manual action to call. And basically what a lead will do when it hits this stage is it won't go through this stage until it's been called through the dialer. So even if you call them manually through the conversations tab, I don't think this updates. It only pushes them to the next step if you call them through the dialer. And so this is how basically you can put someone in the dialer, is you have to add this manual call step in the automation that you create. And so basically that's what we do. I can go ahead and show you here what it looks like, and maybe it'll make a little bit more. So we have the power dialer system, and you have to make an automation for each time you want them to be called. So if we want them called, what is it? I believe 14 times within the first week, a new lead. So we have a day 1 a.m., day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, and they're called 2 times within each of these folders. So if I go to day 1 a.m., you can see what this automation actually looks like. So the trigger is a call status. Call status is busy, canceled, voicemail, no answer, or completed. Basically every call status possible, because that means we're going to know. The system waits 10 minutes. I don't remember the reason behind this. I think the logic was when you're doing a lot of call volume, high level can get a little bit buggy. So we're waiting 10 minutes to give it a little bit of a buffer, so we don't miss any data, I'm pretty sure. But basically, the system is going to check, does the lead have day 1 p.m. tag? Because if it has day 1 p.m. tag, a new lead. And if yes, it's going to remove the day 1 p.m. tag, add day 2 tag, update stage to booked, move opportunity from day 1 p.m. to day 2 a.m., wait 3 hours, and then it's going to wait because if it hasn't got converted yet, we just want to add it. If it has been converted, we want to give it 3 hours to be transferred. If we go back to the top here after we wait 10 minutes, if the lead does not have day 1 p.m. tag, it comes down here and checks, okay, well, do they have day 1 a.m. tag? If yes, same thing happens. Remove day 1 a.m. tag, add day 1 p.m. tag, update stage booked, move opportunity, wait 3 hours, and if no, convert it. And so basically what it's doing is saying, okay, if they don't have the PM tag, that means they must have the AM tag. That's like logically only makes sense. Right. If they don't have the PM tag, they must have day 2 AM, or they must have day 1 AM if they have the day 1 PM. And so basically then what it's going to do is, in the second workflow, this will maybe hopefully make a lot more sense when I go into the second one, is the same trigger, call status, but then except up here, it's checking for day 2 PM tag. So it won't go through if it doesn't have one of the associated tags. So that's how it just can continue the pipeline. And then basically it checks same exact thing. Move day 2 p.m. tag, add day 3 a.m. Same exact thing happened just 7 times over again. And that's back the amount of calls that are happening to a specific lead. And if we want something to happen to them after they've been called 12 times, we can do that. That's basically the idea behind that. As you know, if we call them 14 times, we basically want XYZ result to happen, and we also want to be able to track that. So that's basically what the dialer workflows are for. Also adds them to the power dialer system so that our team can just dial through them instead of CCCM, other automations, this is just going to be our random stuff, like when a kill switch tag is added or flows and stuff. If kill switch tag is added and flows, honestly just filler like automations that kind of just need to be in place for everything to run. And then one of my favorite folders is the reporting tab. So we track everything from all the calls happening in the account to live transfers to new leads to speed the lead. So if we go to call dials tracker, you can basically, when a call is outgoing, we want to track it. Every single call that happens in this account, we want to track. So what it's going to do is it's going to send a webhook to Make or Zapier.
Oh yeah, Zapier, yeah.
Okay, perfect. We use Make. It's basically Zapier, just a little bit more advanced. Um, if you start learning Zapier super well, I would recommend making the upgrade to Make. It's super, super cheap and it has a lot more functionality. For example, I don't know off the top of my head what 150,000 monthly actions would cost on Zapier, but for Make, it only costs us $116 a month to operate 150 actions. I think Zapier, off the top of my head, like that might be $300, $400, $500. The difference is just that Zapier is way easier to use and friendly. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Zapier is very user friendly. When I help on Zapier, I know what I'm doing. Make it's a little bit more advanced. It's a bit more advanced. Uh, we have a webhook that catches the calls, and it looks like it's actually. So we basically have this all calls tracker where the webhook, to make this as simple as possible, the webhook that we're sending, this automation is catching it. So if we click on this automation, this link here is the webhook. And so basically that same link is going to be right here. So what we're doing is we're sending this data from high level to this app here. And then what we're doing is we're adding all this data to a Google Sheet. And so here, I could show you this Google Sheet here. We have this all calls tracker sheet on here, which is basically going to track every single call ever. So you can see here we have like 50,000 submissions, and we just started using this like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And so it's basically tracking every single call going out to every single account, the lead name, the lead phone number, date and time of the call, direction, status, duration of the call in seconds, and the ISA. That's going to add the all calls to the all calls sheet here. Then this is going to check the speed to lead stats to see if this lead's actually already been created before. So we also have a sheet called speed to lead stats where every new lead is going to flow in here. And then we're going to track the speed to lead time. So this time here is going to be the date the lead was created. This time here is going to be the date the first call occurred. And so we're going to be able to basically track the speed to lead on those leads and then average it out on Looker Studio. Are you familiar with Google Looker Studio?
No.
Okay, it basically takes information from Google Sheets and makes it look all pretty because like at the end of the day, having this data is useless basically. Like, oh, like cool, like it's cool. It's like, wow, great, you're tracking every call on a sheet, but like, whoa, like you can't even visualize this. Like this isn't even helpful. And so what Looker Studio basically allows you to do is pull all that data and make it look all pretty. So we can calculate our speed to lead time right here. And what's super cool is when you have everything timestamped, you can even do specific dates. So you can look at data from specific dates and stuff, which is super cool. Basically Looker Studio will allow you to pull all that data that you have in your sheets and make it all look pretty. And again, like we do have to use a third-party software, which is make.com, but we're able to track all the calls in high level and just send it there with a simple webhook. And that's how we do the reporting for that. Basically, same thing as how we do our reporting for the live transfers. When a live transfer happens, we just webhook it. When a new lead happens, we webhook it. And when our speed to lead call happens, we webhook it. And then basically just partner agent workflows. So this is actually something super good that I would want you to implement, Chris, is we recently created a dead live transfer reactivate workflow. Any live transfers you would have got with us, what we can do is actually, I think we have some time, we can build this out right now, is tag anyone you haven't been able to get in contact with within the last 3 to 4 weeks, dead live transfer, and we'll put them into a reactivation sequence to try to reactivate them. and we'll notify you if they respond. And then we'll also let you know the message that they responded with. So if I go to agency view here, I get a
Should
snapshot.
just have one lead call me back from here saying that he had a heart attack. So so
Oh, wow.
he's kind of out of commission for a bit. I was like, oh dang, okay.
Wow.
But yeah, I've
Yeah.
got a bunch that I'm still in good contact with anyway.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of these are just longer term nurtures, which is why like a sequence like this would be so good. Because I know it's super easy to just like forget about people.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, how can we get that over?
I know, right? I hate it
That's
when I go to a place and I just get like a $3 cup of coffee and I'm there for like 4 hours.
Yeah, you feel like a POS.
Oh yeah.
Load snapshot.
Where we were going through some trials and tribulations with that with that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you're approved. So any text you send will go through, and then also if you have access to this, you will be able to buy numbers whenever you want. So we have two numbers for you, both A2P approved, and they're local. Um, so one's an ISA number, which you obviously don't need anymore unless you bring an ISA on. And then one's partner/agent number. We was typically our agent's number that they use, but we'll set this as a default number. Set that as a default number right there. And then, yeah, so this automation we just created just to show you kind of how it's working. Good. So it's going to really, the goal of it is to reactivate any leads that you've fallen out of contact with. We've seen it's reactivating anywhere from about 20-25%.
Oh,
If
wow.
I come to Jerome's account here and just search by dead live transfer, I know he did some. We implemented it for him and it did well. And I was like, oh my gosh, we gotta implement that for more people. So basically, if we come into share in here, this is someone that he would have completely just basically put as a dead lead essentially, and we've optimized it because for some reason details weren't pulling in, and it was even still doing this good. But he marked this lead as dead live transfer, and we set it up so a text like this is going to fire. Hey Sharon, it's Jerome with KW. We had a good conversation not too long ago about that property you were searching for, price, location, time frame, features. Is it still accurate? I've got some properties I sent over. Just let me know. Yes, Jerome, it is, but I'm in California right now visiting my family. I'll be back on Saturday. Okay, sounds good. I'll follow up with you next week. Thanks. Already having a great time. I got here yesterday. Also, awesome. Enjoy yourself. Hey, Jerome, it's wow. So she actually reached back out to him for April, May, June. So 2 weeks later. So I mean, lucky him, but realistically, that just means he's not on top of the ball there. Hey Jerome, it's Sharon. Did you ever find anything for us in Hold Pattern? I thought you were gonna send me some. Listen, just letting you know. Before, so that's obviously obviously great. Like this is someone that he completely April, May. I don't know why he put this as a dead live transfer because he was talking to her on April 25th. Um, so that was a good 30 days. So must have lost contact with her for basically about a month. Then we sent her that reactivation text. Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Enjoy yourself. She said, hey, thought you were going to send me something. Good morning. My apologies. I had them all sent them now. Thank you. Sent those over. And that was on the 17th, which is good. Okay, so I guess, a lead he basically thought was dead, was able to get back in touch with, which really doesn't look like that one. He should have really lost track of in the first place, but I guess it kind of happens. This one here, May 30th, we sent the reactivation text. The last conversation we had with this lead looks like it was on May 14th and then May 30th. So again, only 2 weeks dry here, but I guess, if he didn't hear a single word from this person since then, tagged it dead live transfer. Hey, Janet, it's Jerome with KW. Had a good conversation not too long ago. Price, location, time frame. Is it still accurate? Got some properties I can send over. Yes, I'll be moving the last day in August. Okay, great. Are you currently working with an agent? No. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Can we set up a call on Monday at noon? Okay, great. I'll call you then. Jen, I got sidetracked. Today. My apologies. Are you free tomorrow? Looks like good. They were able to get back on a phone call, 6 minutes, 50 seconds, and sent over an email to her from the system, which is good. So basically, we've just realized that this reactivation sequence is able to get a good amount of leads that maybe you haven't been able to get in touch with in 4 weeks plus, back in the flow of just at least getting a text back.
Right.
and getting a response from a good 20-25% of them. And so what we can go ahead and do is implement them, and any live transfers that you have that you haven't been able to get in touch with, what you can do in the system is just come up here to your contacts tab, come up to the top right, just search live transfer, and all of them should pop up here. And then what I would do is go sort by last year, and do oldest, and then go into these live transfers and just any that you don't remember off the top of your head,
Mhm.
go in and just like tick their box on this left hand side. Be like, yeah, I don't know that one, don't know have it in that one, don't know have it in that one, don't know have it in that one. And then what you can do is you can also adjust the page size here to like 100, so you can go through all of them. What you can do at the top of your screen is add a tag, and then basically just add the dead live transfer tag. And what it'll do is it'll add them to an automation to try to reactivate them. And it'll send them that text that we are sending out for Jerome. And if they don't reply to that initial text, what it'll do is it's going to follow up them for 3 days. So it'll say first name, question mark, question mark. And it'll be like, hey, just really want to help you out. These properties won't be on market much longer. Let me know if this is still what you're looking for. So it's going to try to reactivate them. And then if they reply, we'll notify you that they did reply with the reply that they sent. So like if a lead replies stop, you obviously don't have to stop your day and go attend to that lead because they just replied stop. So it's not going to notify you, like it'll notify you about everything. It's also going to give you the reply that they reply with, so you don't have to waste your time on stuff that's like, don't call me, don't text me ever again. It's like, oh, am I actually going to stop what I'm doing right now to go to this? You can kind of gauge based on what they said if you need to actually attend to them ASAP, or if it's you don't need to. So if we go to automation here, we just created dead live transfer. So dead live transfer tag added is the trigger up at the top, and it's going to wait for business hours for you. So you can add a lead to this at midnight. You can be like going through your leads at midnight. It doesn't matter. It won't send this text until the next morning, within ideal business hours. So we have it waiting Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can be, in the middle of the night, just looking at leads, tagging them dead live transfer, and you're safe to know, until like, next morning. We send the first initial
Where does
text.
when they text back, like does it
So,
come right into Go High Level, or is there like messages on my iPhone?
so it can notify you via your own phone, but if you ever want to reply, you'll either have to reply to them in your phone and create a whole new like conversation, or what's easiest is just reply to them in high level, which there's an app you can get on your phone called Lead Connector, which will allow you to text and call all these leads just right from your phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what we can do is, example, we send this initial text, which is just, hey, it's name, price, location, time frame. Is this still accurate? Now, if they respond, it's going to come over here and notify you via SMS. Dead live transfer, reactivate your reply, lead details, the reply that they replied with, and then just give you a note to log into the CRM. And then also, if they don't reply after that one day, it's just going to send them first name, question mark, question mark. Same thing. If they reply, you're going to get notified. If not, let me know. Contact first name. These properties won't be on market much longer, and I'll let them know. Waits one day. If they reply, you get notified. If not, it just times them out and takes them out of the automation. So it's basically a little quick reactivation automation that we've pieced together, just a little 3-day sequence with any dead live transfers you might have lost contact with. Throw them all in there, and a good 20-25% of them you should get a reply out of. Assuming probably just from what I've seen so far, a 75% positive or neutral reply rate, that can potentially lead there. And so it's so
Yeah.
at any point, if you want, I don't know if you've already been doing these sequences yourselves. If that's the case, then obviously you don't need to do this. But yeah, like I said, just come in here to the contacts, go to live transfer. I would personally sort by last activity to just get the oldest ones, or you could do created, the ones that were created the longest time ago. So you can see October 21st to 2nd
Mhm.
of last year. Just come in here and just tick the box on this left-hand side of any of the ones you lost contact with. Come up here to the add a tag and just add dead live transfer, and the rest will happen for you. You won't have to worry about sending those texts or anything. If a reply happens, you will get notified via text with that dead live transfer activation
Nice.
message.
I still put that first guy there, Harold. I still talk to him like at least once a week.
Oh, really? Do you see it
Yeah.
going? You see it going anywhere? Or is he just one of those like guys? Or
I feel like eventually he will. His mom's been wicked sick for like the past couple of months, so he's been trying to tend to that. But and he works right down the street from me, so whenever I drive by, I honk.
Oh, wow, gotcha. Nice. Well, hopefully, yeah, hopefully that goes somewhere. That's crazy. That's like crazy to think about the first ever live transfer that came through might potentially go somewhere. That's cool.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's cool. I love the thing that gets me most excited really is, and for you too, it seems, is the automation aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nerdy automation stuff. It's cool because it just makes everything so hands off when you're like, oh, I don't have to manually add that tag and then manually update the opportunity and manually send that text. It's just like when we deal with the amount of leagues that we deal with, it's just like such a breath of fresh air. And the
Yeah.
more you learn it, the better it gets. It's like first you make an automation and you're like, sweet, this is going to be so helpful. 2 weeks go by and you're like, oh my gosh, I can add so much stuff to this automation that I didn't even realize I could do. And now it's 2 times easier. And so it's just really fun and cool when you get into the game of automation because you're literally just like buying your time back at the end of the day, which is super obviously like who doesn't want to do that stuff. Yeah, we'll keep your CRM up again.
Yeah.
It's very, very cheap. Like there's unless you're like spamming like personally we spend a lot of money on Go High Level, but we're like I want to say like 1,200 texts a day. It's maybe only like even still at that like less than $1,000 a month to be able to send basically 1,200 texts a day, which at the end of the day is like going to be over 30,000 texts. Like
Yeah.
that's but if you're going to be at like the 100 texts a day mark or even less than that, like you'll be able to see it. You should be able to see it at least. If you go to your settings, because I give you admin access, a billing spot in your settings, and you should just be able to sync. If you go to wallets and transactions, it'll show you. For example, in May, you only spent $15.51, and that was for 21 text messages. And it should show this to you. Does it? Are you able to see the
Mhm.
billing in your settings?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So there you go. You won't even be walking blind. So you'll be able to go in there, your wallet and transactions at any given time. You can update when you um, you add your balance, whatnot, and so you should never be in the know in that regard then.
Sweet. Yeah. Cool. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a lot. I really appreciate you. I mean, that's like, damn, so much information in that 1 hour.
Awesome. Also, I know it was a lot, and it's hard to kind of keep track when it's that much information at one time. So I'll send you over the call recording link as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I'll go through it over the next week and see if that's something I mean, I feel like it's something I'd be able to make use of. So,
Yeah, you definitely be able to make use of it. It just depends if it makes the most sense for you. Like I said, there's a lot of other stuff out there that's real estate specific, and there's tons of opportunity out there. So worst case scenario, it's not. Just let me know. You'll
yeah.
still want to make before you delete it. Just make sure you export any data you need, transfers. Um, the cool thing about it is all your conversations are in there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you have some rules as well, though. But yeah, if it doesn't make sense, just let me know. We'll go ahead. We can cancel it. We can delete it with the click of a button, or we can also just keep it up, and it won't run you probably more than $25 a month, even full use. Worst case scenario, $50 a month. And so even if it's not something that you're using 24/7, I mean, for $50 a month, it's like it's honestly a steal because you should have all the access that the $400 a month plan gets you with basically just having you in as a user. So even
Yeah.
that is a good deal. So
Sweet, man. Well, thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate it.
awesome. You as well, man. Hope you're doing well. If you ever need anything, let me know. I'm trying to stay on top of the YouTube stuff while traveling. It's kind of difficult. I've been seeing your stuff is super killer. And so I've just been like re-uploading like interviews and stuff, being super lazy about it. But I got to get back into scripting the intros and scripting the videos and stuff because that's what actually gets the views.
Yeah, my next 3 closings that I've got in the next 2 weeks, I got 3 closings. They're all from YouTube, so I'm pretty stoked.
Nice. And I do get a run from you here, but I can't imagine you're even what, like you said, like you pay what your editor or your thumbnail guy $50 or a
Yeah,
hundred
90
bucks for
bucks a
thumbnail.
video.
Yeah, $90 a video. Yeah, that's gonna be like that probably feels like your referrals, like doesn't it? Like those people come in, it's like a referral. Like as we were already talking about it, like it's going to be like such a ROI channel. If there's a way that you can like get that consistent, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Fingers
Cool.
crossed. Awesome,
Yeah.
man. I will let you get going, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.